The great thing about so many good science fiction films is that it sparks imagination and ultimately leads to a good adventure. And really, what's better than a good adventure? And I should probably note that when I'm talking about science fiction, I'm talking about anything from E.T. to Jurassic Park to Aliens to Star Trek. And now that that's out of the way, I have an idea. I've had this idea that focuses on two separate storylines. One that follows two boys who are currently traveling cross-country to their hometown of Concord, and another storyline that focuses on our main character Mike and his son who currently live in the town of Concord. While these two boys are traveling across country, some things start happening to them. Specifically, these red lights start forming in the sky, people start disappearing, plumes of smoke start forming. It almost seems as though they're being evacuated, but actually, it's the start of an invasion. Meanwhile, our main character Mike and his son, they're on a little adventure of their own. Mike's father's gone missing and he's taken it upon himself to find his father. And while he's out searching for him, some weird things kind of start happening. Red lights start forming around the town of Concord in these rural areas and no one's really reporting it. He starts learning that his father is directly associated with these lights and directly associated with this corporation that's kind of like NASA, but for the sake of this argument, we're going to call them a darker NASA. So ultimately, we have these two parallel storylines which are very interconnected. One that follows the boys traveling across the country to Concord, who are being invaded, and Mike and his son, who are unraveling this mystery of the earlier mentioned dark NASA. What Mike and his son learn about this dark NASA is that they've kind of been up to some no good. They end up finding out that they've been building these new forms of technology, and ultimately they've been finding these pockets of energy around the globe. And when you go into these pockets of energy, they kind of act as wormholes. Specifically, if you go into these pockets of energy, they take you to a parallel or an alternate universe. And why is this all important? We learn that these boys who are being invaded are actually being invaded on a different planet in a different universe. And we are invading this planet. The lights and other random occurrences that Mike and his son were investigating were all tests that were done here on Earth. The dark NASA was just prepping to invade this planet in an alternate universe, which they have labeled the Abstract. I love the idea and the reveal that we human beings are the aliens, and I like toying with parallel universes or alternate universes. I don't think there's anything cooler than having an alternate version of you somewhere else. This is a father-son movie that happens to be an alien invasion, and we are the aliens. I love science fiction.